Hello, Romans here and welcome to another music review. I review every album from a viewpoint of a musician, as I'm a singer, songwriter and a bass player for my own group Jakube. And last year we have released our debut album called Paeth in Life. What makes it unique is that it's a pretty heavy prog rock without guitars. Instead you have drums, bass, saxophone and keyboards. You can check out 2 of our music videos on my YouTube channel. We're building our own monument and Fake the New Kind of Beauty, and also a studio live take of A Way to Oppose.
And take a look at our society. We wanna rise, despite our decay of morality. How many more signs do we need?
And in the description of all these videos you will find all the information about where's the record available. It's available on all digital platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, Amazon, Bandcamp, but also in this digipack version of a CD with a very beautifully illustrated 20 pages long booklet. So in case you want one, all you need to do is contact me via an email, on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can get one through Bandcamp. And today I'm going to review the new album, or the debut album from Sascha Paeth's Masters of Ceremony, Signs of Wings.
Music review. Music review.
Sascha Paeth is a German producer, guitar player and a musician. And he's actually one of my favorite producers. He produced the second half of the Edguy's discography. He produced almost all of the Avantasia albums and Camelot, Rhapsody of Fire and so on. So he's pretty much responsible for a lot of power and speed metal in like last 20 years. And he's also a touring member of Avantasia as one of the guitar players. And the reason why I really like him as a producer is that he produced one of the most influential and one of the best albums for me, The Rocket Ride from Edguy, which is just perfect album sonically. And speaking of Edguy, there's Felix Böhnke on drums, who is also from Edguy. I hope I pronounced his name right. And there's, for example, Adrienne Coven on vocals, and she has been one of the 3 backing vocalists on the recent Avantasia tour. I saw her live. She was pretty impressive, so it's nice to see that she has a record where she can show off her skills, and based on some information on the internet she has more records, but I haven't really listened to them. Also, Sascha Paeth wrote one song even for Avantasia. I think it was on the Angel of Babylon or Wicked Symphony. I don't know on which of these 2 albums, but both of them came out in 2010. And he wrote a song called Symphony of Life, and I was like, that's a really cool track. I wonder if he would or he could write an entire album, so I guess this is the answer. I know I'm a bit late to this review because the album came out sometime in September, but I've discovered it only a couple weeks ago. I've heard it 6 times, so let's look at it. The first track on the album, The Time Has Come, pretty much offers everything you're gonna find on this album. There are some heavy riffs. This is generally like a modern metal music. There are even some screaming parts, which I really like, and then we've got very catchy melodic chorus that goes in that power metal territory. The second track, Die Just a Little Bit, is a bit slower and darker. It's almost like a gothic metal, kind of in the style of Evanescence. The third track, for example, Radar, this is a completely different song. It's kind of like a pagan / folk metal track, kind of reminiscent of Korpiklani. It's not a genre I've listened to, but I was exposed to it, so it's a very kind of pirate-like song. There's also like harmonica there. Then one of the best tracks on the album is Where Would It Be, which is slightly more serious in tone, but we've got again that big catchy chorus, and I love those piano notes in the background.
Where would it be? Where would it be? Where would it be? Silently, where would it be? Where would it be?
My Anarchy is a song where we have this contrast between really heavy modern metal verses.
Brave and silent, not been facing every
and a much softer, more melodic chorus.
Cradle of my misery, source of my desire, bringer of my
Wide Awake is another song with a really great melody.
in blood, in empty love, you'll always have me there.
Then we have the song called The Path, which is the ballad on the album, and it's a very symphonic song, mainly based on the piano.
Just to go on, just to go on. Let me set sails and flee from the storm and drift through the clouds.
Sick is definitely the heaviest track on the album, and I really have to appreciate the singerette on the album, Anna. She's great. She has sort of like three phases of her voice. A clean singing, which she uses for the most time. Then she has like some overdriven singing and even screaming, which sound, all of these sounds great. All of these you can find in this track. And while I like the song, while it's heavy,
Your love is sick, your love is sick. Your eyes are kind, your soul is kind, but your love makes me so sick.
I'm not a big fan of the power metal, almost cheesy chorus.
Master with the silver tongue, kiss me once again.
And I was never really a big fan of these songs where we've got like really heavy part and then a chorus like from a totally different song. It just kind of breaks the mood. As a songwriter, I would keep the song heavy. Probably my favorite track on the album is Wait on the World. This is also in the power metal territory, but the chorus is fantastic. And I think that it's mainly the singer, Adrian, who's selling the song, because I don't really think it would work with any other singer.
Sun on the tides, burning their chest, and I cannot fall down. The weight of the world's pushing me off the hinges, but I will not fall down.
I really dig this track. Also, there's a keyboard solo, which is a nice change of sound. More traditional power metal track is Bound in Vertigo, which has that very happy, festive atmosphere.
As you take my hand, and the moments are aligning, from blades of an eye to an eternity of light. It will never end, and the sun will always shine into my neverland.
And the final track on the album, which is also the title track, Sign on Wings, kind of reminds me of the Anat Olson fronted Nightwish, but some slower parts actually melodically remind me of Robbie Williams.
Oh, I never found my answer, I never found my peace, but there is still a reason to believe. There are signs of wings, but we can't fly.
I really like this album. There were a few things I criticized, but they make up for like 10% of the album, and the remaining 90% are really great. Now, I will be honest with you, power metal, speed metal, this is not something I really listen to anymore, in a way that I'm not trying to discover new bands or new records. I'm kind of staying away from that, but this album really surprised me, and I like the melodies, I like the musical performances, the production. So yeah, I will keep coming back to this album, and I just hope that this project or a band, they will keep releasing more stuff in future. And I just hope that they won't be afraid to get really heavy, at least for 1 or 2 songs per album, just to add to the overall variety of the record. This was, by the way, the album that I was listening to when I was bringing my wife to hospital when she was about to give birth, like more than a week ago. So I think I will kind of remember this album as being the soundtrack for that. Have you heard this album already? You can let me know in the comment section below whether you agreed or disagreed with me. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find links to both in the description of this video below. If you like this review, don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. You can check out my own original music, my live performances, my worst to best series, and quite a lot of other reviews as well. Thanks a lot for watching.